So it really does kind of speak volumes to how important this game is for Cyclops to not drop this one. It is all on them to win it. We head to Cafe first. Fnatic will be defending, it seems, and they will be banding first.
The Monty Cyclops ban persists. Anaton target banned. See it time and time again. Perhaps this is your first time watching Japan. Perhaps your first time watching Cyclops. Anaton is, I would say, the best Montang player in the entire world. He does some absolutely ungodly things with that operator, so it's not too unsurprising that Fnatic have taken him off the board. Nook to follow. She's great on Cafe. A lot of avenues in which you can enter. Front door, bot white, small bake, and then lurk up the map. But unfortunately, for the attack, she will not be a tool that can be utilized. In terms of defense, we're probably looking at Azami. We're probably looking at Valkyrie, maybe Mirror to be banned out here.
Oh,
Goyo actually first taken off.
Yeah,
Okay,
no, get it right, guys. Come on.
Okay, what's the next one?
Valkyrie. Always
Yeah,
Valkyrie.
you got the easy one.
If unsure,
oh,
it's
on.
Valkyrie.
You got the easy one. You're cheating.
Well, it's not cheating. It's just understanding how its fans go. Look, the Goyo definitely a little bit of a surprise there. I agree. I think it's interesting that Azami gets through on a map like Cafe, so prominent with those keeper barriers and locking down positions. And that's kind of what Cafe is, right? It's all kind of about pushing through positions that are being held. You think about, pushing through bar, say backstore, pixel, eventually into cocktail, or from, kitchen perspective, positions like bakery, eventually positions like VIP. It's all about having to push through these kind of these areas, these choke points, if you will. So that's where I think his army really shines. So to not see that get banned out, okay, brings it into the fold. Also interesting to see it not get picked.
Yeah, didn't get picked in the first round, so
I'll just stop talking then. Yeah, that's interesting.
I mean, they have the mirror instead. Yeah, and Rooney in play. Yeah, that is strange. It's very difficult to envision a Rooney being picked in this meta. Maybe for a shop extension, if Mag is playing that, it could actually be okay. But yeah, that's going to be interesting to see.
Well, I'm trying to see where these Sawyer gates are. I couldn't see quite from that very, very top-down view. But yeah, that one definitely surprises me. To be fair, at this point, guys, 4th game of the night, we shouldn't be surprised anymore with some of the operator selections. Anaton still thinks it's 2022 with the Finca.
True. I think we saw Finca in one round earlier on Skyscraper.
One round.
But I guess his Montang's been banned, so whatever else is comfortable. And Cyclops now repelling up to the roof. The hatches will get opened up. They'll look to drop down into shop, get some control lounge. There are lines of sight who can test that, however. No shield at Pixel. There's a gate and barbed wire though. It's not completely devoid of utility. And it's a now white repel. I think no longer with grenades in hand, so it's not like Anatic could post up here and maybe lob some into top white stairs or washroom. Simply not an option anymore. Well, instead, just hard hold the run out, but no one from Fnatic lined up for that. Blackray's made his way into shop. Not contested. Very defensive here from Fnatic.
Yeah. Position that, can typically be defended quite vigorously and has been given up. To be fair, even though if you get shot presence, you can't do much in terms of pushing in towards bar itself. Kind of just sit here with the angle being held. So Blackray's playing this as well as you possibly can. And then Chibisu expecting potentially a red stairs flank. So, I mean, good positioning right now from Cyclops, understanding that they don't want to obviously aggress too quickly. Bar cocktail, you really do play down to the last 20 seconds. It is all about these checklists as Lily catches Suzu way off guard. Interesting flank, interesting roam, and Chibisu goes and tries to respond. Very aggressive utility with that flash as well. Has played that extremely proficiently from Chibisu. Didn't overstep the mark, opened up the wall, threw the flash, just understood what he had to do and did so. 45 seconds left, 4 versus 4. Tension though has to go back upstairs.
And that mirror window still standing. Well, 2, in fact, still standing. Cocktail Repel can counter that a little bit. The Night Shine response. Anaton survives. Flushed out a little bit. still can hold down this line. Diffuser in the hands of Cully. What's the plan here from Cyclops? Where are they going to try and get this plant down? And to try to bait the jump out. Chibitsu, well, he's able to bait the pick up above. 15 seconds now remains, and here is the diffuser going in over towards heaven. 10 seconds remains. Cully needs to try and get behind that bar, try and get that plant down, but Fnatic are falling. Mag in the 1 versus 4. Traded. Cyclops take round 1.
Oh, yeah. Cully's just kind of making me stressed for a minute. I'm just like, just plant. Don't give them any chance to find your head, take it off, and drop that diffuser on the ground. Well, Cyclops get there in the end. And I think they should be pretty happy with that. I mean, to be fair, Chibisu getting a 4K to start against his old team. I mean, to be fair, it's not really his old team. His old organization, I should say at this point, does. But dream start for him, and obviously for Cyclops to get on the board early. Cafe, typically in normal regions would favor defenders, probably, at least in the other APAC regions. But here in Japan, it actually does favor the attack. 48 to 52, so 52 being the attack. So a strange one coming probably from Oceania, where it's probably like 40-60 in favor of the defense. So nevertheless, Cyclops on the board early. And Fnatic's defense, well, they kind of showed their hand early. Sitting back on site, not looking to aggress, not looking to post up in positions like Cigar Shop, not seeing anything too fancy. And all that does is kind of invite pressure.
I think in this meta, and I would probably describe it as sort of the hyper-modern era of Siege. Maybe I'm being a little bit over the top with the description.
Hyper-modern era.
But you need to be contesting shop. You need to be contesting lounge. It was just free real estate for the attack. And the rounds are way too long to be able to absorb that pressure in a meta that isn't reliant on util absorption, right? It's all about head-up gunfights, trading out picks, being adaptable on the fly. And at crunch, and when it comes to crunch time, if there's over a minute or so left for the attack to plan and to formulate something, as the defense, you're going to be in a bad spot. So you have to be playing contact rooms. You need to be cutting down these drones. You can't be allowing these kinds of players like Black Ray to be sneaking around the map with too much freedom, or they will make you pay.
You've got to be on the front foot. You've got to be making your presence known around the map. And even if it's not just sort of that like real hard contact of that, you know, the early 1v1s in rounds and really trying to stop roamers, just making noise, giving sound cues off, being annoying, forcing the drone, forcing your position to be cleared. Show presence. It'll go a long way. Immediately, Cyclops really just ignoring that top floor here, wanting a bit more of a horizontal tag, and Chibisu. Big kill onto Ruin. Talk about dream start, and then you've got Arkeli as well down below. Putting a bit of pressure on. Minute and a half. Again, good timing as well for Cyclops. Fnatic are just on the back foot early. They are feeling the presence and pressure of Cyclops all around the map.
Certainly concerning for Fnatic at the moment. Cyclops stacking over towards mining. Arkeli still lurking down below, now in reception. Anderson with the diffuser in hands, he's inside of a train, now has an entry point in towards the objective. Obviously it's not as easy as just walking in. Those footholds to the left, those holes on the wall facing white stairs does make it tricky. But he might just be able to sneak in, at least bait out a bit of a plant. The wall causing issues, but no issue anymore. Lily elsewhere, a delayed trade, so it is a 4 versus 4. Anderton just baits the plant once. Flanker elsewhere, as Anderton now will want to stick.
And that edge up was triggered. Knight yourself from Mag, it's on point. Loses his life for it, and a couple of others fall. It's all just being a bit of a trading game at the moment now with 20 seconds left. Black Ray and Chibisu. And they salvage this round. Close by to each other. Chibisu's going for the plant. What's Black Ray going for? Literally just watching the doorway, clearly not aware that this plant's going down, or at the very least feeling like they can't impact it. Maui over towards mining. And there's a down onto Lily. So only Maui left remaining. Black Ray will finish Lily off with the pistol. And yeah, not pushing through both of them. Had it on lock. Chibisu's off to an absolute impeccable start here on Cafe.
Yep, Cyclops overall are looking the better team right now on the scoreboard, reflective of that. Fnatic perhaps just again not quite applying enough pressure on the entry. Train was pretty free real estate. Mag did a great play there in being able to deny the first plant, but there was just so much more time remaining, so many more players and utility remaining still for the attack that it wasn't the biggest of issues there for Cyclops. You could get it down, and Fnatic, even while that plant was going down, even while we were in the early phases of the post-plant, still playing static positions. Cyclops not getting caught off guard, probably having a decent amount of information being fed to them as well. Just played it cool, calm, and collected, and so far really causing issues here for Fnatic on the defense.
Yeah, and it's only early days, but yeah, definitely a little bit concerning from the point of view that Fnatic have just not looked all that aggressive on their defense. And when we take into account now what is, I guess, a small sample size, but a sample size nevertheless from our early games today, it's defense that is aggressive that has found success for these Japanese teams. And Fnatic's not doing that. They're not going with the meta of the region. If you're not going with the meta of the region, you might find yourself lagging behind. Again, early days here though, and Cafe can be somewhat a little bit more difficult. I mean, think about what are the finer margins. Okay, bar cocktail, maybe a bit of cigar shop control, maybe lounge pressure with Kiba barriers. We've seen a bit of that, but even like sort of bakery here, we've seen players post up bakery with like shields and really get aggressive and just sit in there. And Fnatic's just not looking like they want to do that.
And Cyclops don't seem to be particularly uncomfortable with pushing these kinds of holds so far. They'll do their due diligence and drone the top floor. Not that I think they'll find all that much. Cully, quick entry. And I think Fnatic just posted up at the bottom of each staircase, waiting really just for drones to come alongside so they can clean them up and perhaps deny some information inside late round, which will be critical for Cyclops. Just getting to work currently. Chibisu off to a great start, 6-1. Has a big role once again here on this round, establishing vertical control from Dining down below, from Train down below as well. Secondary hard breach, able to make quick work of those hatches as well.
And to be fair, Fnatic do actually have a shield in bakery. It's probably not the shield I was necessarily referring to. There is presence there. And again, it's 5 down, you know, in and around kitchen on site. No presence up above. And there's still a minute 20 left in there. Hard to believe. You look up the clock, there's still a minute 20 left because Cyclops have been basically in around this sort of like mine train position, tearing up the floorboards, putting the pressure on. It feels like it's just a matter of time before they're going to get really good information through the drones, find an opening pick. You know, the Candelas go out in a position like VIP. You know, there's going to be one player posted up in VIP. If you just overload them with Candelas and swing, it'd be really difficult for you to hold that position. 50 seconds left now. Hannerton, though, is the one that is definitely being aggressive on that Ying. Candelas go out, and Bakery, yeah. I mean, like, what is Mag supposed to do there at that point? Overwhelmed, Candelas are going out, you're full white. Now you got Bakery control, you got a play advantage, 40 seconds, still time. Red Stairs control. And Fnatic is still just sitting back. Where's the counterpunch? It's not coming from number 2. Lily gets a good shot at the DMR, getting the kill onto Hannerton. Jibitsu has to check his left side. 6-1. Smoke goes out. He can make the cross. He gets tagged. He feels the pressure. So there is a little bit now from Fnatic. They are starting to fight back. Shots in the dark, though, from Lily. Where's the information? Where's the intel? Duzu with the diffuser. They don't even need it. They just wipe the floor with them. 3-0 start here on Cafe.
It's very static at the moment from Fnatic. They lose the first pick. They don't look to make a play in response. Lily did try to step up and had an okay round and in fact is top fragging, but unfortunately the rest of the team, it feels like they're playing scared. Now, they might not be. It might just be that that's their game plan. That's what it looks like from an outsider's perspective. But when I look at this game and I look at the way Fnatic are reacting to Cyclops, it looks like they're playing timid and they're not playing a confident brand of Siege, which is rewarded again in this meta. Cyclops then are just capitalizing completely and crunching them in these rounds in an exponential fashion because they're getting that first pick. Everyone's kind of sitting back and Cyclops have a read as to where they are, and then they can sort of just swing them or back themselves mechanically to win these fights, and Fnatic are sort of just left standing there. So it's not looking good for Fnatic at the moment. It's not looking great for my prediction as well. I thought that with the players they had brought in and the restructure they had gone through, Fnatic would sort of just come out of the gates and play a really loose brand of Siege, but they've almost gone the complete opposite and are trying to play this, I think, really structured kind of setup and system, and it's just not compatible with Cyclops at all.
Is there a way back into it for them? Where's that going to come from? Lily started well. With the only other 2 kills. They've got 6 kills on the roster through 3 rounds through just 2 players. Donuts for Ruin. Awu, number 2. Not the start that they would have liked to start the campaign for 2023 from Fnatic. Disappointed with this, especially on the defense of a map like Cafe, where a lot of the times the attackers are coming towards you. And those contact fights are going to be sort of forward facing rather than, you know, behind your back or anything like that. Roam games not quite as prevalent. All about sort of just pushing and clearing these choke points and just getting overwhelmed, overrun. So far have not been able to win a site. So okay, so they go with the Rooney again. Lily gets the opening pick. Loses their life to Suzushi. 4 versus 4. Magdo, nicely done.
That's it.
Trade for trade for trade. Why not? Keep going. The train just keeps on rolling. 3 versus 3. That was better though from Fnatic though. That's what we want to see from Fnatic. Bit of aggression, bit of forward position, power, strength shown. Breaks up the attack a little bit. So no Finker, no Sledge, no hard breach.
Look at the 3 players from Fnatic to the left. It's the 3 that are yet to find a kill. So this is their opportunity to really step up to the plate here, gain some confidence that they can roll into the rest of the match. If Fnatic just get rolled here, honestly, they're out. The game's over. Cyclops will probably sense this a little bit, and they're going to really focus hard here. They've got some good information, they've got good control at shop, and they have a lot of time. They can prepare for default, they could even prepare for trash at this point in time.
Minute left, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of time left. It was the same with the last round as well. Jibitsu hanging out in shop. Obviously now can just sort of peer in towards site. And to see if he can find an angle onto someone sitting in cocktail. McCulley takes a bit of damage on the Docker B, and now Black right down below. Obviously we have the vision to see. It's not on the mark with the first one. Second one a little bit too much to the right. Number 2 is able to survive. Just takes a little bit of a tickle. Jibitsu has been taken down. Number 2 on the board with number 1 kill. Taking out Akali, and finally Fnatic are going to get around to go their way. And it's number 2 that was able to clean up towards the end of the round. Much, much better. And a lot of that comes from the start of the round. Bit more pressure. Get a couple of kills. You know, Mag, instead of falling back, goes forward with the shotgun. Gets the kill. Does he lose his life for it? Yeah, but that's fine. You're breaking up the attack. You're breaking up a sophisticated Cyclops that are definitely going to be the better of the 2 teams when it comes to 5v5. You'd much rather 3v3. I think that favors Fnatic more, and we saw that there in that round. Much better from them.
Nice little confidence booster as well for number 2, who previously gained a lot of experience on Fav. 3 kills for him to lock out that round. Unfortunately, does still strand Mao and Ruin on a donut, but at least Fnatic as a team have escaped that curse. Round on the board, it's something to build off. Cyclops cannot rest on their laurels in this match. I like the picks coming out though. Amaru Dokubi combo indicating that perhaps they'll go for some quick control up above. We know that Fnatic overall haven't been particularly keen to play contact on fringes of the objective. They did in the last round, so we'll see how that plays out, and we'll see what the response from Cyclops is.
Suzushi on the Maru. Always a fascinating decision that gets made as to where you grapple in and how, and a lot of the times it ends up just being a fast entry up on towards the roof, and that's about it. We get a little bit disappointed. I know you said you want a response from Cyclops, but I still just want to see Fnatic find a way to maybe get consecutive rounds, put the pressure on the scoreboard a bit. I think it's still up to them. They're still behind. It's still 3-1 in favor of Cyclops. Can't just say one and then pack, get one round and then pack it all up and say, okay, job done. Now they need to sort of show that they're going to be competitive in the long run. Need to get multiple rounds here. Bit of information from the Gemini of Black Crate. 6-1. Good start to this game. It's Maui that finds the kill. And a big one of that. Harkali, though, gets a trait onto Ruin. It does at least give Maui his first kill as part of Fnatic.
4v4 now, and Suzu will locate to where I suspected he would look to employ the grapple. Up onto the balcony, through that single window, and we'll look to sync it probably with clear from the rest of the team through shop and now into backstore. Don't know if Cocktail is occupied. Not currently seeing any outlines, although I think there may be one. Near the hatch, perhaps. Suzu being contested over towards Pillar, needs to be mindful that he doesn't get taken down. 60 seconds though. Clock becoming an issue, and Suzu will send it up through the window. It's already clear though, and Cyclops can begin to work side. They still have the sledge, they still have the buck.
Yeah, Fnatic's moving around though. I like this, not just sitting still. It doesn't quite work out, unfortunately, for Mag, but yeah, and the same for number 2 as well. It's so frustrating when I think you're doing the right thing. You're moving around, keeping a good presence in and around sight, not just sitting in a corner tucked in. Just didn't work out. Maui, though, with a nice little bit of a flank. Unfortunate, low on health means that you just died at the first body shot anyway. Yeah, that's a rough one for Fnatic. How much have they done wrong there? Probably not a whole lot. That's just a really clean round from Cyclops, hitting their shots. Good timing. Things going their way. Good response, obviously, after losing the round prior to that. 4-1 scoreline now. And obviously, it's starting to just stretch a little bit thin for Fnatic. Don't know what much more you could have asked from them in that round, though.
I think the only thing that may have been really Fnatic's win condition there was holding Cocktail longer, but I mean, the clear from Cyclops was really, really good, so it would have been such a 50-50 call to try and hold that position. I don't think the setup is really going to work particularly well with what Cyclops threw at it, with that Amaru, with the heavy push from far across, etc. Fnatic's kind of trusted themselves to be able to find picks back on site. But the vertical play from Cyclops has just been really good so far. Chibisu, for me, has been the best player in this lobby by quite some margin. Obviously, equal with Black Ray, but Chibisu doubling up with that soft breach roll has been doing a lot of really good work.
10 seconds left before insertion. 5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, and it really helps for Anaton and Suzushi that they can just sort of focus on their roles. Don't have to worry about fragging out. Misu comes in, kind of just picks up where, you know, the likes of Gatorada and Ayagata were originally on this team as sort of fraggers. And obviously for Alkali, it's not quite there just yet. 2-2 now on the Ash, and licensed to roam here and just find a couple of kills. Big round though, absolutely crucial round for Fnatic. You've got to get a second here. Again, a reminder, especially for Cafe in Japan, 52% attacker sided, so it's slightly favoring the attackers. Can't let it get beyond 4-2. 4-2's the absolute hardcore minimum here if Fnatic are to get back on their own attack. And it would be good for them as well to just sort of test their own attacking half and get a bit of game time. You don't want to go down 5-1 and then you lose 2 rounds and it's over and it's a 7-1 loss and it's the only uncompetitive game. Doesn't do well for the team mentally. So fighting back here is so crucial.
Amaru again in play. Suzu to fly up with the grapple. SMG in hand, a player up close, spots one shop. That kill confirmed. 4 versus 4, player up close that Suzu now needs to be mindful of. But he can spray away and tap away with that G8. Oh, the flashbangs got a little bit greedy and Mao will punish. A 3 versus 3, good aggression from Fnatic. Lily back in the game now. Anaton, Cully, a 2 versus 2. the most explosive round we've seen so far, and there's plenty of time remaining. Cyclops now can just recompose, re-drone, and try to isolate these 2 remaining defenders.
Yeah, but I mean, the same can be said for Fnatic. It's a 2 versus 2, and there's still a minute left, and you still got a player on site and one above. So I think Cyclops are in the worst position here, actually. I think Fnatic, again, similar to when it was 3 versus 3 earlier. It was Bar Cocktail, might have been. I think that suited them, and I think the 2v2 suits them now as well. Yeah, obviously, Anaton and Arkali can go hunting here, and yeah, they've got a lot of time. Fnatic's got better position. I don't know if they've got the time here, Cyclops, to deal with players still above. Depends on how they sort of want to plant this. A little bit of a spot at least. And Anaton realizing they're pretty further back. Oh, that's a wonderful spray from Anaton. Pops the adrenal boost as well, and that is going to give them a chance, because obviously... Well, never mind watching the hallway. Arkali, I thought he was going to be able to slip by. Anaton says he's going to do it himself. Maui is so low, doesn't really want to pick this White Stairs position. He has to, and he does. Oh, that takes balls of steel. He knows he's low on health. He knows that just one little body shot will take him down, but he has no choice. He has to force his way down White Stairs. Big round win for Fnatic, and they needed that just to keep in touch with Cyclops.
Huge round, big clutch. The 1 versus 1. Very composed. Both players playing it quite well, but the positional advantage there for Fnatic. Very wise to keep a player upstairs in the 2 versus 2, pardon me. Sides now change. Cyclops on the defense, and we know that they love to get aggressive. And look, I mean, we can just literally look at the composition and say that already out of the gate, it's way more aggressive than Fnatic. We've got Izami, so we can extend out to the likes of Lounge with a bit more confidence. We've got the Pulse, so we can have a player sitting down below feeding information as to where every single attack is going to be. We've got the Solace, so we can try to deny information, all of it indicative of this aggression. You've got the catch in Suzu on the Jaeger as well, so Pixel will be, as traditionally has been the case now, a little bit more difficult to push as well. So Fnatic are going to be tested here in the first attacking round.
Yeah, but I like this setup. Flores sometimes doesn't get utilized enough on a map like Cafe. Nomad so strong with the air jab, especially against a team like Cyclops, who will be on the move. They will be roaming. They will be looking to flank. I think Fnatic are really well set up themselves. And, you know, 3-4 on the scoreboard suddenly looks a hell of a lot more competitive. And that's really what I think the word of the day is probably for the Japan League, is competitive. Fnatic will pretty much just need to aim to be competitive. There's a lot less expectations on this roster. They're not expected to make the major. They're not even probably expected to contend for it, but be competitive, grow and learn. And who knows what stage 2 can provide. Oh, a little peek out of the window. I think that might have been... Actually, I don't even know who that was, but it was really close. And Lily obviously has taken a bit of a beating. Not ideal on the sledge. A bit hesitant to make their way in here.
Lily able to drop down, life intact. If only just. Player on red stairs though to greet Lily, and yeah, I don't think this is going to be a favourable fight. May have had information. Continues to push. Black Ray elsewhere, seeing white. And unfortunately, Lily does not win that fight. And for Fnatic, it's fallen apart. I don't think they were too keen pushing Lounge. That setup was pretty formidable, but efforts elsewhere don't open up really any more win conditions. In fact, they've pretty much just closed them all off. And Cyclops now just need to be a little bit careful. A team that garnered a bit of a reputation for not only throwing matches, but also just individual rounds, right? Where they're in this advantageous position and they'd start doing silly stuff and actually give Fnatic some win conditions back. So now it's just about being smart, being conservative, and letting Fnatic play into the setup.
I agree. And there's not much time left anyway, so Fnatic are kind of forced in towards Cyclops, which gives Cyclops probably less of an opportunity to throw this one. If Fnatic are going to win this round, they will have earned it. 35 seconds left, 3 versus 5. It's in the numbers. Next engagement so crucial. Black Ray took a bullet basically into the arm. Gets away. Up top, white stairs. Maui now probably feel like it's going to be a little bit more difficult to just push up those white stairs. Instead, if you get that kill, you get white stairs control, the round could have been really right back on for Fnatic. Now Maui's got to be prepared for a crouching shotgun to the face. It's so difficult to find much affirmation here for Fnatic that things are going well. 2-5 now. Cyclops pulling away. That was a rough round for them. Hard to envision that they're going to be able to claw this one back. 3-round differential for a team that's, you know, newly put together. Haven't had the time to gel. Haven't had the time to probably be in this kind of situation where if, you know, being able to find themselves on the back foot and how to claw out of it. Everyone's 0-6, not ideal. Donut on debut for their new team. But on the side of Cyclops, they've been pretty good. They've been pretty clinical. Haven't really put too much of a foot wrong. Haven't thrown any rounds. It looked like the team that we expect to be contending for a spot of the major, and that's really all you can ask of them so far for this stage.
Yeah, and we look towards Akali and Chibisu, and both posting great numbers, having a good impact in this match. So difficult to fault them at the moment and fault the changes that this team has made. Akali, of course, tested at 6 Invitational to a limited degree. But now the full 5 coming together here for Japan League 2023. They will be vying for a top spot here in their group. So they get a favourable seeding for that playoffs bracket. And they may well be the top team in contention for a Phase 2 spot in that major, not having to play through that initial stage and increasing their chances of having an impact overseas. It's something that they really have been longing for quite some time, where they've been pretty flawless, whether it be in Japan or previously APAC North, but have struggled overseas.
That's a long Rotero trip. That's barbed wire in the end. At least something comes out of it for Mag on the Flores. Top down for Maui, top red. Jibisu over towards Pixel. The shield. And I don't think Cyclops has done a whole lot different either. I mean, like, these kind of positions are pretty standard. Maybe been a slightly more aggressive team on the defense and happy to take engagements a little bit more than Fnatic. But I just think it more comes down to just the raw skill, raw gunplay. I think their skill level is just a little bit higher than Fnatic at the moment, and that's really showing through. Whereas we think about our earlier 3 games that we had today, that was just like 6 teams that were basically all on the same level. Anyone could have won any round. Definitely a very competitive league, but I think this is going to be really sort of good point being set that Cyclops is maybe just above said competitiveness, just at least one level. Now we're sneaking through bar. Might just catch Cyclops off guard here. This might be the first sort of real successful push from Fnatic. Nice little sneak on through. Number 2 then gets rid of Anaton. Well, they've just completely snuck in the back line here.
He just walked straight through backstore and thought, oh, maybe I could like make a play towards shop or something, and then yeah, obviously still plays there. Fnatic actually looking pretty good this round, but don't count out Suzu. 1v3, no Nitro makes things tough. Control up above, double stack over towards pillars. In fact, it's a triple stack at the doorway. Suzu, what can he do from this position up? Well, not much. Mag switched on. Fnatic take the round.
Ooh, nice shots. Yeah, 3-5. Okay, so that's really all you want if you're Fnatic. Getting just these rounds ticking over. You keep yourself competitive. You keep yourself in the game. 3-5. Okay. You're not even really on that match point just yet either. And then suddenly if it's 4-5, then 5-5 in just 2 rounds, you put all the pressure onto Cyclops. You yourself don't even have to hit match point. Force them to take attack, to think about things. Okay, they've made a comeback. It was 2-5, now it's 5-5. So 1 round at a time has to be the mentality for Fnatic. Cyclops go down to kitchen. Fnatic not giving up on this game.
Every point critical, even just pushing OT is important, even if you lose. Cyclops will be obviously trying to do everything to prevent that because 3 points extra valuable considering all the OT results we've had tonight. Back down to Kitchen for round number 9. Trap-centric for Cyclops. Frost and CAG both in play. I thought maybe we would see a sneaky Brava to counter the Capcam, but I don't think we've quite seen that interaction come into realization at this level yet, as far as I'm aware. And I think Fnatic are going to go top down. That would make sense given the way they seem to be approaching this particular map, quite structured. I want to clear out these positions and just go through that checklist. That is a very good Rotero.
Yeah, very, very good. That's in a very, very big position that you're going to have to deal with later in the round. So now Suzushi is going to be in a bit of a more awkward spot in VIP without that shield. Fnatic just making small wins, right? They're very, very fine margins sometimes in Siege. Even little things like this little drone. Fnatic are just getting things to go their way. Little mini games, little checklists, little moments. You just got to convert that. You got to let it snowball into a big round win. So under 2 minutes left in this round. You can clear out this utility. You can get these pings, but you've still got to push in, find the kills. And Cyclops starting to just sort of reconvene over towards White Stairs, make a push back down towards Kitchen.
Cyclops using that as a sign to fall back, forfeit some of that control up above, and now focus their efforts on site and alongside in VIP. How quickly will Fnatic react to this territory being left vacated? We'll have to wait and see, probably in a moment. Oh, that's the Capcan. Oh, that's really frustrating for Mag. He's walked straight into that EDD.
He'll be out. He'll be out.
But it is a time sink. It is a time waste.
Yeah, 100%. And also he's going to be low on health as well, so that's not ideal. It's a win for Cyclops, wholeheartedly. Not ideal for Mag. He's still got 3 Roteros, so maybe he just sits on those, low on health, gets a bit more information off of his Rotero drones, gets rid of a bit more utility, and then pushes in kind of late. He does not want to be the entry at this point. 40 seconds left. Get into work now towards train and mining. And it's Ruin that finally finds a kill. First one in the game. Might be a crucial one. Gets rid of Black Ray on the smoke. Maowu now over towards Red Stairs. Don't know if Anderton's going to push into him. I think. Oh, never mind. He does. Anderton pops up like a phantom in the night. And somehow didn't take a lick of damage. In fact, it even got to land a little bit onto Maowu. 20 seconds left, though. If these fights are still happening over towards Red Stairs, it's a win for Cyclops. Jibisu gets the kill onto Lily. Number 2 just feeling the pressure of time now. Loses his life. Maowu as well. Fnatic's attack falling apart. Ruin picks up the diffuser. Goes next to the chassis and will have to stick it. Then it's a 1v3 in red. Gets it. Off it. Up close though. Suzushi will get the kill. That will be the counter defuse. Those little wins for Fnatic, not quite stacking up enough to get the round win. And Cyclops overcome Fnatic's attempt. It's match point.
Too much pressure from Cyclops in that round, and Fnatic, they capitulate once again. It's not quite having enough. It does feel like they are on a different tier in this particular matchup. Probably taking perhaps a fraction too long to clear up above, but it was that transitional phase. Mag getting trapped wasn't ideal, but I mean they still found the pick on the vert. On that entry in towards site, VIP was a bit of an issue. Main door was a bit of an issue. Sort of just compounded a little bit. Cyclops now with 3 match points, looking quite comfortable. Up above we go again. A lot of information available to the defense with both Pulse and Solus available. And with Anderton running around on Oryx, Fnatic needs to be very careful.
Yeah. And that's why I like the Flores on Cafe. Probably doesn't get used as much, but I wonder if with the setup the Cyclops keep bringing, if it's just a little bit too passive as an operator. Yeah, it gets rid of some really good utility. And we saw that in the last round as well, clearing out VIP. But I just wonder if it's almost too much of a sit still and allows Cyclops to just gain ground running around the map. I guess though you've got Ruin now on the Sophia, Maui on the Yana as well, so there is at least a little bit of fire for fire being fought by Fnatic. 7-3, not an ideal start to the stage if it ends this way, and it very well might. There goes the Flores, well, not even going to partake in the round. And it gives Cyclops the early edge in this potential final round on match point round. Every single game tonight has gone to overtime, barring this one. If it plays out the way that it looks like it will, unless Fnatic can win the next 3 rounds.
You can stop worrying about grenades now.
Fighting on the back foot once again. Number 2 will drone down through red. Coast looks pretty clear, but it's really the 2 down below that are causing issues. The Pulse Solace combo needs to be contested or at least disrupted. Because these players on the rappel are just getting called out live pinged. The defense, and there's the jump out in response.
Oh my.
It's fallen apart. That information played off very well there by Cyclops. Chibisu with the play of the round. Cully as well jumps out, and now number 2 on an island.
Well, it's a dream return for Chibisu against his old organization in Fnatic. But it's Black Ray from the heavens that drops down red stairs, finding this final kill to seal it off. 7-3, clinical performance from Cyclops, and they make a statement to start the Japan League 2023 that they are the best team in this region, that they are the top dogs, that they are the hunted and not the hunters. Everyone's going to have to come after Cyclops. If they want to make the major, you've got to go through Cyclops. And I don't know who's going to be able to do it, because they look very clinical.
Yeah, it's certainly making Fnatic look second tier, and I guess any doubts that I personally casted on Cyclops now can be brushed aside. The new additions seem